Greetings and gratitude to all light forms and light workers who have found this, day 3 of 31 days of card magic. I'm your host, Third Eye Lion, Yul Innes, here to discuss the last 6 of the decks that I work with. These are 6 different energies that are commonly not displayed here. Some are, so there's no overarching theme, but if there would be one, I would consider these powerful, intuitive, channeling magic decks. We will begin with the Teenage Angels. Understand that whatever your relationship with angels, or with anime, with art of any kind, find a deck that relates to you. Is there something that you connected with? Is there something that you feel drawn to? Find an oracle deck made that way. They don't have to be made by a world famous artist. They can just be something similar to something that you are called to. And oftentimes they will have little messages for you. Get the armor off. No one is going to get to you. Sometimes they do not. But the more you can work with whatever force and set of cards in your life, more of the power, more of the magic will be brought forth with you. So you can call forth these individual angels in magic, in meditation, in visualization, whatever entity that you are drawn to, positive or negative. Work with cards that represent those, and know that you will always be able to overcome any fear, doubts, and insecurities that you are not good enough, that you are not magical enough, that you don't have what it takes. These are not true. Don't listen to them, and overcome them. So, the next ones is an oracle. We have the Oracle of Visions, created by Ciro Marchetti. So if you find a certain type of oracle deck that works for you, there's many different ones. Some of them have a lot of symbols, some of them have little. Some of them are easy to read and can be summed up by the guidebook. Some of them are very complicated, where the guidebook gives you little information. Find the one that works right for you. Find the one that has the right frequency for you. And look at the messages. Transport yourself to these places. See how they make you feel. And tap into this emotion, into your life. Bring forth this magic. Bring forth this power that you have inside. And use cards to help you unleash it. To help you ground it deep into the earth and connect it to other people. Always realize that you hold the key. That you have what it takes to read these cards. Whatever these cards may be, you have what it takes to make it happen. The best thing you can do in your process of working with different oracle decks is look up other people who also use those same decks. They may not use them for spiritual magic, they may not use them for meditation. But the more you can research, the more you can communicate with others who use similar decks or the same decks to you, the more you can understand what you are doing and how it affects other people. If you feel compelled to only do card magic in private, by yourself in your own energy, that is fine. That is perfect, and allow that to happen. But if you feel compelled to make videos, to share it to other people, to transmit your frequency out into the world, then that is also what you are drawn to. Allow these things to happen in their own unique way. They don't have to be a certain way, and they are always willing and able to develop and change. And this is a beautiful thing about life. It never has to always remain in the same frequency that it always has been. So, I have the deck number 3. This is the Universal Tarot, the world's smallest tarot, the teeny tarot. It's a version of the Universal cards. Even when you work with small cards, even when you work with large cards, whatever the system you use, you can use it for multiple different things. I have found that these small cards really are resonant to people when they can hold them and experience them in their own way. Because even though the images are recognizable as the Rider-Waite, they are universal, which means there's more color, there's more frequency to them than they normally have. Magic, and using cards for magic, is something that can never end. It's an infinite process of learning, developing, and applying these techniques. You will never always have complete knowledge. There's always more to learn, there's always more to develop on, and there's always more to understand. Find your own balance in doing things, because the magic you wish to see in others and in other things already most likely exists within you. Find a system of cards that works. In this series, I have detailed quite a few. Just know that you have magic, you have power, and your power is meant to be shown to other people. In a tiny, teeny way, or in a large, expressive, masterful, massive way. Whatever it is, allow it to be and know that it's perfect in what it is. So we will now move on to this deck. This is the Spanish playing card deck, which I, the human, have transformed into a oracle deck. I went into a trance state. I brought forth my friend here, Thoth, the god of knowledge, the god of divination, the god of law, the god of the moon, and the god of thought, writing, and any form of creative or intellectual endeavor. He told me to go into a trance, take a Sharpie, and transform these cards using 12 zodiac and 12 gods. If you work with deities in any way, if you work with magic, spiritualism, occultism of any kind, find your pantheon and work with them to create a deck that only you can. Create something that is based on your own cultural heritage, based on your own symbolism, your own mastery, and share that with other people. Take a Sharpie and a deck of cards and just let your imagination flow. Put the entities you want on the cards there and let them be. Don't take judgment that your art's not good enough, that people won't see what your meaning is. It doesn't matter if they see. Oftentimes, the most powerful magical decks are the decks that only you have, that no one else is able to create, because you have the frequency to make it, the frequency to hold and master it, that other people are too afraid of the power, too afraid of their divine magician. This is the female magician. Know that your magic, your flame, your power, and your infinite creation is what is needed for you in your process. So if you like these decks, but they don't speak to you, if you watch these videos and you don't like any of these decks, well, that's perfectly fine, because you can make your own. Take a Sharpie and a deck of cards and go out and create it and make it. And understand that all of the playing cards are part of the tarot. There's a meaning, there's a system, and an understanding behind each of them. Look that up, find a way to use it in your life that is applicable to what you do and what you experience. Now we will move on to the Pokemon playing card. So these last two decks are not Oracle or Divination decks. These are playing card decks that I use for readings. These are in Japanese. They have the images of the magical pocket monsters and their different forms. So you can read these types of decks, whatever content you're interested in, whatever property that you like. There's most likely a playing card deck with images from that property and use these images to help you as a psychic. Each one has a different meaning, a different frequency, a different concept. Research them and attach an emotion to them. Talk to your spirit and use them as meditation aids, as magical aids, because each one holds a very powerful, deliberate frequency. The more you can master what these symbols mean for you, the more you can use them. They are not as good for reading for other people, but they are very good at giving information for yourself, reading and understanding for yourself, so you can better understand what is happening in your life, so you can better see the ways to develop and grow that you want to. So I recommend you find maybe an anime, a cartoon, a TV show, a movie that really spoke to you as a child, and find a playing card deck of that and start using that for readings. And if you want, take a Sharpie, you can draw on it. If not, take the symbols that are already on the cards and use that. This is the same for the last deck, which I call the Cookie Monster Oracle. This is the Cookie Monster playing cards. Each of the cards has a different image of the Cookie Monster. And when I give readings, I do what card it is, based off of the 52 cards that are also in the tarot, and what the image is. What is happening in the image? How does that make me feel? How do I feel when I see this Cookie Monster standing on legs? How do I feel when I see this entity celebrating, being himself, being in joy? How do these images allow me to better understand what I am feeling inside when they come up? Because when you work with magic cards, the magic is the love. The more you can love these things, the more you love the deck you're using, the more connection you have with it, the more personal it becomes, the more powerful it becomes. Take it on walks, clean it, put it away when you're done using it, say thank you cards. Build a relationship with them that is not just the same thing always. Have a dynamic relationship with your cards. Have fun with them. Take them to new places. Use them in different ways. And love the connection you have with the cards. It's the best way to develop your skills and development. So these 6 systems are different for each person. I recommend that you find your own deck that no one else uses, or find a deck that other people use it in a way that no one else uses it. These 6 systems are systems of you to master your reality and understand the unseen realms. They're always around you, they always are supporting you, and they always want you to develop in the most beautiful way possible. So whether it being playing cards, tiny tarot cards, oracle cards, or angel cards, whatever it may be, whatever the frequency that aligns to you, or it could be something completely different, let it happen and let it in, and know that you deserve this frequency, and you are powerful enough to wield it. You are very much loved and very much in power of this month of October. Thank you for showing up, and I look forward to seeing you in day number 4 tomorrow. Much gratitude.